such good shit!
Hey, Mark Rodriguez here, and you're currently listening to America's #1 cure for insomnia, the Diving Cutter Wrestling Podcast. And yes, now we are on Spotify, on Amazon Music, on Samsung Music, on Listening Notes. I'm not sure what that is, but shout out for you guys out there listening on that. And also, of course, on Odyssey and YouTube. So we're all over the place, guys. We're all over the place. And as usual, I am not alone. With me are...
Ninja Panda 1980.
This is Johnny Rodriguez. Always welcome to these wonderful podcasts.
And of course, the one, the only, Jack Knives from Jack Knives Reviews.
Yes, and before we start off this show, I want to give a quick shout out to my buddy Poke. You guys remember him from certain episodes of the Video Game Masters. He has his own Twitch channel called Poke the Gaming Panda. He actually has these matches here. It's called Galaxy Wrestling Interactive eFed, which is based on the latest WWE game. I think it's WWE 2022. And yeah, he has this whole, setup with the different characters. You all can, as you guys watch the videos, you can support which ones you want and give ideas for matches. And he has, basically, it's like a video game version of like his own show. He's dominating his own show. And of course, thanks to, the creative player, not everyone is from WWE. You get some AEW guys there and from other wrestling federations. Even the Joker might be in there and stuff like that. So once again, guys, check out Poke the Gaming Panda from Galaxy Wrestling Interactive eFed on Twitch. It's almost every night. I believe he's off Saturdays, but almost every night. Check it out, give it a follow, and yeah, there we go. So anyways, guys, now we got all that out of the way. We're going to go through some brief wrestling news for people that are new to our podcast here. We usually review AEW and I guess now Ring of Honor because, Tony Khan owns both. Pay-per-views, we give our predictions, and then once the actual event takes place, we'll come back to it, we'll review it, and we'll compare like who actually won, in comparison to who we voted for and things like that. So for this one, we're going to have Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor 2022, which is the first edition of it being run by Tony Khan, the new ownership and all that. Before we get into that, we're going to go into some real quick wrestling news. On certain things in the WWE, we still have the whole thing going on with Sasha Banks and Naomi. It looks like they're officially gone for good. The words, each one says their own different thing, but it sounds at least Sasha Banks is gone for good. But she's kind of, she's playing a Braun Strowman now. She's now willing to be booked for other wrestling events, but she wants, I think $30,000 or $300 or some crazy amount of money to hire her for your event. Because, as we all know, the indies are just bleeding insane amounts of money, right? They can just pay her that much. So it's kind of like what Braun Strowman's doing. We'll see how that works out for her. No work for Naomi. The tag team titles are still showing vacant when you go to the website. And on similar news, our beloved Cora Jade has now gone heel. And it's so weird because the 1 week before, her and Roxy won the titles, the NXT tag team titles, only for Cora to betray her partner the following week in the match against Mandy Rose, I believe. And yeah, so she beat her up. She's no longer friends with her, and she officially dumped the NXT belt in the garbage and everything in this past week of NXT 2.0. So that's another tag team that's vacant. Like, you go to the site, it shows Roxy and then vacant next to her because, of course, Cora is no longer the tag team thing. So we'll see what happens there. I just hope that now that she's going heel, she can bring in some elements of her older Elena Black gimmick, because I just missed that. The coffin and the tarot card and all that stuff. But, Vince and them. I don't get it. I don't understand it, On other news, AQA has left wrestling. She's been around here and there. I've seen her on Rise Women's Wrestling, but she's also made a couple of matches on AEW and actually been on AEW TV. Her famous match was when she challenged what's her name, Jade Cargill for the TBS title that one time, but most of the time she's been on Dark and everything. And yeah, she's taking a mental break. It's not just AEW, it's just wrestling in general. She's just stepping down from wrestling. We don't know what's going on. Of course, as fans, we wish her well. We'll see what happens. Not too many details on that, but she did thank all her fans that have been rooting for her and supporting her all this time. But yeah, that's surprising. And yeah, and I believe we had some Ring of Honor related news there, Jack.
Well, the only major news as of late is that they did officially confirm the return of the Honor Club, which is Ring of Honor's equivalent to the WWE Network, or to New Japan World. So what it is essentially it's just a tier where you pay, I think, about $10 a month, and not only does it give you the archive of everything in Ring of Honor, it also gives you major discounts to Ring of Honor's merchandise sales, and it also allows you to pre-order tickets before they actually come out. So there's quite a lot to it, and I'm really curious what it's going to do as far as with the merging of Warner Brothers and Discovery. I'm really just curious to see what is going to happen in that regard, because I don't know if it's going to be an extension of that, or is it going to be its own thing. But like I said, all I know is they did confirm that, and I hope that's a gateway for them to do more with Ring of Honor than what they've been doing, which is pretty much nothing.
But I think it'd be all the things lately. I don't think we have any more. I mean, I think the WWE's kind of already calmed down with all these, mass releases and junk like that. So I think things have pretty much calmed down. And any other news or events that might have happened recently, well, of course, we'll be talking about them as we get to the event. But yeah, so let's say we get started, guys. And I'll start writing down all the matches, and we'll see who predicts what and everything. You guys are all ready for it. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with this match here. It's going to be for the buy-in. And of course, just to remind you guys that we still have Rampage tomorrow night as of recording. This is a Thursday. We're not there yet, And because this pay-per-view is actually on Saturday now, so I got to, edit this in time and all that good stuff. So of course, there's a possibility of more matches and more challenges being thrown out here and there, that we will not be able to predict. So, we do what we can. So the first one we got here for the buy-in is Alison Kay versus Willow Nightingale singles match. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It's pretty cool. They both proven their skills, especially Willow Nightingale. She's really built up with the crowd. She's just so happy, cheerful, dancing and everything. People really love her. And of course, she was in the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view against Serena Martinez, so people kind of know who she is. If they're not keeping up on Dark and stuff, they can at least remember her from the last pay-per-view and everything. Alison Kay, I forgot which event she was in related to AEW, but I do know she was in the previous AEW match and everything. I guess she's kind of like a special guest that appears here and there. But yeah, she's been all over the place though. She's been in several matches. She's been like on, Shine, Shimmer, Rise Women's Wrestling, which is gone now, unfortunately. And let me see here. She was also in the Mae Young Classic. So she's been around. She's been around under several different names, several variations of Alison Kay and everything. But she's been around. And recently she had a cool match on not AEW. On NWA Power, she had a good match against Kylie King. Kind of like an exhibition match, because right now there's kind of a thing going on where Kylie King is going after the title. The current champ for NWA is Camille, the Brick House, and she's kind of stepping in everybody's way. So it's kind of like, if you want to get to the champ, you got to get past Kylie King first. And who knows, we might hear more about her later on or something like that. But for this one, oh god, it's so tough, because Alison Kay is so talented. But I think she's kind of like the guest. So, despite me wanting her to win, I really think it's going to go to Willow, because Willow's just got herself more built up for the AEW crowd. Because I know it's Ring of Honor, but come on, guys. Currently, it's kind of sort of like an extension of AEW, for the fan base and the crossover and stuff. So, I think Willow's going to win. I kind of wish Alison Kay would, but I kind of feel that she's like the guest, there's a special guest star, whatever, and all that. So, yeah, they're going to have Willow win and everything.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. I mean, even though it is a Ring of Honor match, you're still going to have fans from the AEW crowd in it. So, yeah, as much as I'd like Alison Kay to win, Willow, she's gaining momentum with the AEW crowd. So that's pretty much going to be the winner for the night.
I'm going to go in the contrary and say that Alison Kay is going to win, because I like Willow. I like them both. I think they're both very talented. But Alison just has more skill in the ring. And I know it's a matter of, booking, which I hope doesn't keep happening, because that's one of the things that pisses me off the most about AEW, is a lot of the booking decisions are kind of stupid. But it's mostly to do with, I think right now, they're more focused on Willow Nightingale because she's going to be going to Tokyo Joshi Pro. So apparently, like, there's going to be a big tournament in Tokyo Joshi Pro, and she's going to be a part of that. So I think they're less concerned with her in AEW, and this is more of like, hey, do you want to wrestle? Because both of them were Ring of Honor contracted, so it would make sense that Alison Kay would win too. So I mean, honestly, for me, I'm just going off of skill level, and Kay is just so much better in the ring than Willow, and she has way more experience. She only just, what was it, not even, what was it, like 4 or 5 months ago, her and, she was one half of the NWA Women's Tag Champions, the newly reintroduced Women's Tag Champions, and now she seems to be kind of just making her way through the indies, so I'm kind of curious to see what she's going to do as well. But I think I'm just going to go with Alison on this one.
Oh, you're talking about Alison Kay being the tag team champs?
Yeah, she was one half of the NWA Women's Tag Team Champions.
Oh, that's right. The Hex, I think they were called.
Yeah, they were the Hex. It was her and, oh, jeez, I just forgot her name.
Marty Bell, I think. Yeah,
it was her and Marty Bell. And they were, because they made like a huge deal about it because Marty Bell was the first, she was the first Puerto Rican born woman to ever win a title in NWA. So I was like, oh, cool. So yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with Alison Kay for me.
Yeah, you know what? I'm also going to be the contrarian as well, and I think I'm just gonna support Alison Kay. I think she's extremely talented, and it's just more of a. It's just something that kind of shocked people a little bit, you know, like maybe it's not something that you're not expecting it to happen, you know, in that event. So, you know, maybe by her winning the match, it'll kind of make people like, oh shit, like she won the match. Like people are not expecting that to happen. That would be interesting.
All right, okay. So we've got 2 and 2. We got 2 for Willow and 2 for Alison. It's always more exciting when there's more of us here because that always is more of a variety here. So the next match we got here is probably going to be one of the more funniest, most just, you know, cheesiest matches of the night. But hey, we love our wrestling cheese. We got the Righteous, which is Vincent, Bateman, and Dutch, with Vita Bonstar probably there to cheat or, you know, distract or do something, against Dalton Castle and the boys. The boys being Brandon Tate and Brent Tate. And wow, I don't know. That's just wild, crazy fun there. I just like the fact that those guys that were always like, you know, the Giant Feather fans on Dalton Castle are going to be actually wrestling too and all that. So that's kind of fun. I'm going to go for Dalton Castle is my pick for that one. Dalton Castle and the boys.
I'm going to stick with the Righteous because I just love their character because it's like, it's very Bray Wyatt-esque, but more Bray Wyatt meets Charlie Manson with a little bit of like Carney thrown in there, so it's like got a little bit of everything. And I mean, Vincent just makes me smile when I hear him talk because he literally looks like kind of like Rob Zombie and everything. And no matter what, he'll always be like, "Dig what I'm saying, man," all the time, and it's hilarious. But the one other thing is they can go, like Vincent especially. They can wrestle. Bateman and Dutch have been making their way in New Japan Strong. Well, especially Bateman has. Dutch has been on the indie circuit. Vincent's been kind of making a scene over in Impact with Honor No More, which is like all the other Ring of Honor guys. So it's kind of cool that they brought back the Ring of Honor 6-man tag titles because it was kind of up in the air of like if they were going to do that. I hope that I want them to bring those titles into AEW. You know what I mean? Like, make those a thing. Because how many people in AEW are trios? Like, there's so many people that are trios. Like, just use those titles and, you know, have trio fights.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Jack Knives. That'd be a really good idea. My pick on this is definitely the Righteous. I mean, just the characters alone are just outright hilarious. Just pretty much what would happen if a wrestling federation was created by the Devil's Rejects. These guys are just like insane. I do love them, and they do have really big backgrounds from other wrestling federations, and they're pretty tough. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Righteousness on this one.
Yeah, I think I'm also going to go with the Righteous. I'm not totally familiar with them, like 100%, but they do seem to be, they seem to add their style to the ring and their personalities. And, they're like really tough guys. So, yeah, I would like to see them win this match, see what happens.
All right, so this time I'm the contrarian. This time I'm the one going with Dalton, Castle, and the boys, while everyone else is fielding Righteous. So there we go. So next match we got, and like all these other matches are all like title matches. Like holy crap, that's what I noticed about the last Ring of Honor. All titles in the line, So we got the big one here. I really like this one because it just shows you that it is cool to also like watch AEW Dark and Dark Elevation. And they do lots of experimentation here and there. And sometimes when something like picks up there, they actually bring it on TV. So we got Mercedes Martinez versus Serena Deeb for the Ring of Honor title. And, of course, Mercedes being the current champion. And the way it's been built up is that for the last couple of, like, maybe a month or so on AEW Dark and Dark Elevation, they've been a tag team. And it's kind of like an uneasy tag team. They both they're always watching each other's backs around each other. Every time they wrestle, they're kind of like, I guess, showing off or one-upping each other. Like, Serena Deeb does some kind of painful submission move on someone, and Mercedes is kind of like, yeah, I see you there. I see that, and stuff. Mercedes does some of her fancy, her pain, her chops and stuff. Serena Deeb's kind of nodding like, okay, yeah, okay, So they kind of got that going on, and they're always, like, facing off each other, and, every time Mercedes lifts the belt up, Serena's like, staring at it and junk like that. So they've been kind of building it up. And just recently on TV, they've appeared as a tag team on TV. So, of course, Common Joe doesn't watch the YouTube ones, don't know what's going on. So finally, it was officially announced. Because I kept saying, I do the blog reviews on women matches, and every time they fight, or, they've been in a match, I've been saying, oh my God, I hope they build this up. I hope that they do something with this. Like, hey, we got Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor around the corner. And here we are. So, this is a real tough one because Serena Deeb is a fucking badass. Like, I don't want Mercedes to lose the title so fast, but Serena Deeb, like on one side, she already challenged the champ before with Thunder Rosa and she lost. So I don't know. I don't know how her stock's gonna go if she loses again, like another title shot. Like, what, she's gonna go against Jade now and lose that one too? I don't know. But I just like her story. I just like the whole thing with Hikaru Shida, how she had the rivalry with her. She busted Hikaru Shida's leg. Hikaru Shida took a month or so to recover. She comes back. Here's the big, hero comeback moment. And yet Serena Deeb just fucked her up again. I'm like, holy fucking crap. You don't see that terribly too often. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm going to go with Serena Deeb. I have a bad feeling Mercedes is going to win anyways. But I'm gonna just say Serena Deeb anyways. Because I don't know. I just don't see it in the sense of she went against Thunder Rosa. She lost. Then they go against Mercedes and lose. Like I'm saying, what? She's going to go against Jade and lose too? Like, she's going to probably lose stock that way. So I'm going to go for Serena Deeb, the professor of professional wrestling.
Yeah, Mark, I agree with you on this one. I'm going to go with Serena Deeb. She's been kind of on and off. She's been like a bit of a savage since the Hikaru Shida thing, but to have her lose to Mercedes Martinez would kind of be a bad idea. And actually, having her win that could ramp up a pretty good feud with her and Cargill. Who knows? Maybe she might be the one that actually puts her down. I'm just saying, might be, might not. But, yeah, I got Serena Deeb on this one.
I'm not too sure on this one. Honestly, I think this and the tag belt, it was between these two. I know they're going to be great matches. Regardless, this is going to be a great show. And especially with these two, because they're both over 20-year-long veterans, which that is awesome. They're both wrestling for over 20 years. A lot of people don't know, but Serena Deeb was not only the former women's trainer for NXT, but was also the women's trainer for Impact for a little while. So she has the wrestling experience and know-how. And Mercedes Martinez, everyone knows her. She's won pretty much everywhere except for WWE, but that's not real wrestling, so who gives a shit? But
hey, that's
honestly,
pro entertainers, you know.
Yeah, but what's interesting is this is what sucks. Okay, so in order for Mercedes Martinez to have become the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, she had to beat Deonna Purrazzo, who is arguably the best submission women's wrestler on the planet right now, or she's one of them, at least like top 3. And Serena Deeb is also in that same list. So the thing is, I'm like, she has the skills, I believe, to beat Serena Deeb, but from a booking perspective, it makes more sense for Deeb to win because they could do more with her as the Ring of Honor champion than they could do with Mercedes, who they're just kind of like... It's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in the minority here, but has anyone else ever noticed that since they introduced women's titles, AEW doesn't know how to book champions with women? Like, am I the only one that finds it weird? Like, when they're not getting to the title, but being champion, they don't really know what they're doing. Like, when, what's her name? When Riho was champion, she was just kind of there. When Hikaru Shida was champion, she was just kind of there. When Nia, now Thunder. The only one they could book kind of good was Britt Baker, and that was it. But like, it seems like they're women's champions. They're just kind of like, oh yeah, and then and then there's Jade, but that's more to do with her attitude, I guess. I don't know. It's just kind of irritating because I'm like, I wish they would do, like, have a different writer for the women's division. I think, honestly, I wish that Deeb, I think Deeb is going to win. I think Deeb is going to win, and then she's going to become the Ring of Honor Women's Champion and maybe do an open challenge with the Ring of Honor title. That just seems like something she would do. And that's what I think is going to happen. So.
Okay, so this is a very interesting one. I'm also going to go with Serena Deeb. I think Mercedes have won too many matches. And, don't get me wrong, they're both extremely talented. But I don't know. We just need to see more Serena Deeb winning these matches and see what happens, from there on, That's all I'm going to say.
So all of us are going for Serena Deeb, it looks like. Let's see what happens. But you're right. It goes into her character because she does that whole 1 minute challenge or whatever. So it kind of goes into her character. She would probably do like open challenges to anyone for her title. So that's kind of cool. So the next match here, we've got the epic rematch because everyone loved Match of the Night for the last event here. The last Ring of Honor event we had. Supercard of Honor for those that missed it. We got FTR, the current Ring of Honor Tag Team Champs, going up against the Briscoes. Once again, Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe, but this time it's a 2 out of 3 falls match. So, of course, they can afford to get pinned more than once and everything. And whoever gets pinned 3 times, either 3 times in a row or 2 out of 3, before a time limit or whatever, they're going to be the new champs. And with this one, I don't know, man. It's kind of tough. I don't feel the FTR. I think they had a match or two here and there. Well, they had that epic match where I think it was Cash was injured, the arm was injured and stuff, but he still came back later on in the match to help defend the title, and they still won. But I don't know. They haven't really had that many matches to like defend their titles and everything. And I know the Briscoes are real top notch, and I don't know, like, like would they actually lose twice, though? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Especially for a new audience, for the people that are getting introduced to Ring of Honor and stuff from the AEW, the overlap and stuff like that. I don't know. I really don't want to see FTR lose it, though. But I don't know. It's just, damn, man. I really love FTR. I'm going to go for FTR to hope they retain. I just don't know, man. I don't know if the Briscoes are going to win it or not. I don't know if they... I guess they're so popular they can afford to lose twice without losing stock. I don't know. I'm just kind of seeing it from the perspective of like the new crowd and stuff. Like, you know, these are the Briscoes. Like, dude, all you do is lose or whatever. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna go for FTR against my better judgment. I guess just bias because they did kind of win me over last time. And the other match with the intensity and with the guy that got injured, how he came back and he was still fighting. He was picking up wasn't he picking up Keith Lee with his injured shoulder or whatever and still slammed him down? Like, holy crap, you know what I mean? Like they sold me with all that. But yeah, I'm gonna go with FTR.
I'm gonna have to go against you on this one, Mark. I'm going with the Briscoe brothers. Now, given, yeah, sure, there's a lot of AEW in the home crowd. There's still a good bit of Ring of Honor fans that are there, and they know the Briscoes and their history. So, yeah, to have them lose twice, I don't think that's going to happen too much, especially, you know, with those two in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Yeah, this is going to get real ugly real fast. That's all I'm going to say about that match. But, yeah, I got the Briscoe brothers for the win.
I, too, am going to go with the Briscoe brothers because of the fact that, honestly, they did have a point. I don't know if you guys saw the whole thing that built up the 2 out of 3 falls match, but basically what it was the Briscoes came out. It was on Ring of Honor's YouTube page, and it was a sit-down with the Briscoes and the FTR, and Caprice Coleman was basically the peacekeeper, and he basically explained, like, look, y'all got lucky because of the fact that you guys wrestle, what, once every 3 weeks? We've been on the indie circuit every other night. And he's like, you guys were fresher, and you guys had less workout time, so you guys were going to be better. He's like, before that, we had fought in GCW in a hardcore match. Before that, we had, and then before that, we were in Impact, and we fought against the Good Brothers. So, yeah, to go into that, yeah, so I agree. I do agree with that. And also the fact that it makes more sense from a booking perspective for the Briscoes to win, because then it could have FTR versus Briscoes 3 in a rubber match. It would make more sense to have that than it would be to just have FTR win again. Also, the fact that they're the IWGP champions irritates me, not just as a New Japan fan, but it's mostly to do with the same thing with, like, the fact that they're the AAA tag team champions. I've seen them, once defend those titles? Like, I just don't want them to keep putting these belts on the shelf. That's what's pissing me off. You know, give them to champions who will actually defend them. And that's all I say about that. It's not FTR. They're amazingly talented. I do think they're one of the best tag teams on the planet right now. It's just the fact that I wish that they would actually book them to defend their titles. And they don't. And it's irritating to me that they don't. But I'm going to go with Briscoes, because I think maybe the FTR could get 1 win, but I don't think they could get 2 in a row against the Briscoes. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, this is another tough one because FTR, they are extremely talented and they do have a lot of perseverance, but I think I'm going to hand it to the Briscoe brothers because they just need to win this match, you know, and it's, you know, they're so a big crowd with the Ring of Honor, you know, fans, so, you know, it would be good that the Briscoe brothers would win this match. And, you know, just intense match. You know, it's going to be one heck of a match. So I can't wait to watch this one.
Wow, so I guess this time I'm the one that's taking Jack's role. I'm the one being the contrarian to a lot of these ones here. So, yeah, so the next one we have here is, let me see, it's a special kind of one. Yes, this is Wheeler, Utah versus Daniel Garcia, which of course is one of the peak of sports entertainers, for the Pure Wrestling Rules match for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. And if I recall correctly from the last time Jack explained, a Pure Wrestling match is they can only like hit the ropes for submission moves like 3 times, I believe, and after that they no longer can. They just gotta like withstand it.
Yes. So how a pure match works is normally a pure match is only 30 minutes, but because it's for the title, it's a 60-minute match. How it works is the rules are that you're only allowed 3 rope breaks per person. So, you know, when you reach for the rope break for submission, you can only do that 3 times. After that, it won't matter. So you could even use the ropes in a submission match, in the submission if you wanted to, which has happened multiple times. You have 1 closed fist punch, only 1. If you closed fist punch once, you get a warning. If you do it a second time, not only do you lose the match, but you're fired from Ring of Honor. You're banned from Ring of Honor. So the other rule is you obviously can't use weapons, and you can't do outside interference. And if it goes down to a draw, a time limit draw, then 3 judges in the back will determine who the winner is based off of a point system. So that's how a pure rules match works. Basically, it's a motto. It's an actual. The whole point of it is basically to be literally pure in the ring, sports athleticism.
For this one, I'm gonna go with Wheeler Yuta because he's just super badass, and you know he's really showed up his skills and stuff. I'm really glad that he broke away from the best friends to really like show off what he could do as a singles guy. Although to be fair though, his stint being with the best friends to you know kind of fill in the spot because Trent was gone did help kind of, you know, get him out there, get his name known and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool. It wasn't like a full waste, you know what I mean? It helped him build himself up until he went solo. And I was with the Blood Combat Club and everything. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Wheeler Yuta. I don't know. The Daniel Garcia, I don't know much about him. I know he's in Jericho's team, but with Jericho's team, I just know like the older guys like Jericho, Hager, and Sammy. I'm still kind of, I'm going to have to see more of these other guys in action because for me, they're still kind of like other guys until I get more used to them with the whole Jericho Appreciation Society and everything. So yeah, I'm going to give it to Wheeler Yuta. And yeah, I mean, I just think it's also too soon for him to drop the pure belt. So we'll give it to him, see how that goes.
Yeah, on this one, I got Wheeler Yuta for the win. He's been showing a lot more resiliency since that fight with Moxley. And, yeah, he's gotten a little bit tougher since then. It's one thing I've noticed. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Wheeler Yuta on this one.
I guess I'm going to go with... yeah, I'm going to have to go with Wheeler Yuta. He really impressed me in the Best of Super Juniors, and... there's not much to it. I do like Daniel Garcia. I think he's very talented, but I just don't see them dropping the belt that early in Wheeler Yuta's Ring of Honor career. I am pissed off that they had him defend it against Josh Woods on Dark, of all things, because that should have been on TV. I mean, I know, you know, Mark watches Dark and Dark Elevation, but it kind of irritates me that they have these really, really good matches and they force people to watch it on YouTube instead of on AEW Dynamite. Because it's like, so you're telling me you can't put on really good matches, but you can put on like a 12-minute segment of Jade Cargill telling you how good she is? Seems really counterproductive.
Yeah, but who else is going to tell Tony to cut the shit?
It falls into WWE category for me, but it's just like I said. I want to see matches. I want to see wrestling. That's why I watch wrestling.
Yeah, I do agree with you there, Jack Knives. It does seem a little bit like something you would expect from the WWE crowd. So yeah, maybe they do need to tone down some of the foolishness, I would say. In terms of this match, yeah, I do agree. Wheeler Yuta all the way. I think he's extremely talented. He's a phenomenal wrestler, and I would just like to see more of him. And yeah, it would be really cool for him to win this match. I don't really know too much about Daniel Garcia. To me, just like what Mark said, he seemed just like one of the guys in Jericho's association club. So I'm not really too familiar about him. But yeah, I definitely want to see Wheeler Yuta win this match.
So yep, all of us are going for Wheeler, so that's pretty cool. So then the next one we have here is Samoa Joe versus Jay Lethal, but unfortunately Jay Lethal's also accompanied by Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh, and it's for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. And I don't know. I mean, I really want Samoa Joe to win and keep the title and all that, but I'm kind of afraid that Jay Lethal's going to win just because the numbers game and everything. And that the tall dude, that's Sanjay Dutt, right? I don't like. Does he even have actual matches? It seems he just shows up to kind of be there and kind of be like, oh shit, they got this real tall guy here. He just seems to be like an extra. I guess just an enforcer for Jay Lethal, but.
He hasn't had a single match yet. I don't know. I guess he's the Great Khali of AEW.
Yeah, I know, that's the first thing I thought when I saw him. The Great Khali, man. Remind me of either him or the Giant Gonzalez. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell?
It's like, I don't understand the logic in this. When they get these really, really tall guys that can't wrestle, I'm like, is this just like a Frankenstein thing? Just go full out and call him Frankenstein. Because that's all he is. He's Frankenstein. He just goes... They walk like Frankenstein. They fight like Frankenstein. They do one move. I'm like, yeah, they're literally Frankenstein's monsters. So it's like, what's the point? I don't know. Sanjay Dutt, though, he is a former Ring of Honor champion. Not world champion, but TV champion. But he can't wrestle anymore because he's... I think he has, like, neck injuries or something. So really, I don't know what's going on with that whole thing.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Jay Lethal just because the numbers game. Like, I want Joe to persevere, but I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of shit, a lot of cheating, and unfortunately, I don't think Samoa Joe has any people that got his back unless Gresham jumps in, just because he also hates Lethal. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with Jay Lethal on here. But man, Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Samoa Joe all in the same ring. All we're missing is AJ Styles, and we got an X Division title right there from the early 2000s. But yeah, I hate to say it. It's going to be Jay Lethal because he's got Sanjay Dutt and the guy whose name I forget, but I do know he's a former basketball player for the Dallas Mavericks. But yeah, if it comes down to the numbers game, I don't know if Samoa Joe's going to survive it. So, yeah, I got to give it to Jay Lethal on this one.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick with Lethal as well. I mean, I don't know where he's actually been. I don't know where he's actually been. Where has Joe been? Has he been injured or something? Like, I've just been kind of curious because I haven't seen him around.
I haven't heard about injuries, but I think he's probably just resting up just for this, I guess, just for this match.
No, because he hasn't popped up anywhere, so I'm like, okay, I guess he's just... Okay. I'm just very confused, but I guess I'll just go with... I guess I'll just go with Lethal, because it's like, you know, what's the point, I guess?
Yeah, I think I'm also going to go with Jay Lethal again. Like, I don't know where Samoa Joe's at. Like, what is he doing much nowadays? But yeah, that would be a very interesting match. You know, just general with Jay Lethal and the two tall guys. I'll just call them the tall guys. And yeah, let's see what happens.
Yep, so all of us are going for Jay. All right, so the next big match here is the main event here for the Ring of Honor World Championship. And yes, the current champ, the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham, with Tully Blanchard backing him, going up against Claudio Castagnoli, which people may know of as Cesaro. So, oh wow, this is going to be one hell of a match. But I'm going to give it to Jonathan Gresham, though. I know, like, it's going to be one hell of a main event, and Claudio's going to put him through his paces, and I mean, I don't know, man. Depending on what happens with the Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal match, Jay may come in and do some shenanigans or try to do some shenanigans here and there. But, yeah, I'm going to give it to Gresham. He's pretty awesome.
You know me. I'm going to stick with the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham. He's legitimately one of the greatest technical wrestlers on the planet. And it would be such a waste for them to just give the belt to Claudio. I like Claudio. And the fact that he's never been a Ring of Honor world champion, despite having wrestled there for so many years and all of this stuff, but it's just, it would be such a waste to just, I don't want them to keep playing hot potato of giving these titles to AEW talent. Like, I get it, it's owned by AEW, I just don't want them to do that, please. Because then what's the point of me enjoying it, you know? But with Gresham, if he stays champion, he can do what he's been doing, which is he's been defending that title all around the world at different promotions, showing up at different promotions, defending that title, and he could do that. If Castagnoli becomes the champion, he's just going to be carrying it around with the Blackpool Country Club, and they're just going to be going around and being like, look how tough we are. Did we mention Moxley? Let me mention Moxley. Hey, guess who's here? It's Moxley. Oh my God. I don't want to see that. That, or he'll win the championship and he'll just defend it against jobbers. Again, it's like Moxley. So, what's even the point if he were to win the champion? If Gresham wins the champion, they could do more with the character study, and they can like build up to him, and hell, they could even do more with this Tully Blanchard Enterprises thing that they're doing. So, hell, like I said, now that they've reestablished the 6-man tag champions, have them go against that. Have, like, the Blackpool Country Club. I know it's the Combat Club, but I call it that because Zack Sabre calls it that. The Blackpool Country Club versus Tully Blanchard Enterprises. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with the consensus here. To say that John Gresham is a sound technical wrestler is probably the understatement of the century. He's a very, very damn good, very talented technical wrestler. And let's face it, Claudio's got enough fanfare. He could take this one L and it not really bother his career on this one. It wouldn't put him down in the dumps or put him in the mid-card or anything. So, yeah, I'm going to definitely go with Gresham on this.
Hey, so for this match, I don't know, as much as Claudio seems like a cool guy, seems very talented and all that, I don't think he's to the Jonathan Gresham level. Like he's like a whole other ballpark when it comes to some of the best wrestlers out there. And I forgot which pay-per-view it was, but the one that he had his first appearance, I guess, for the AEW crowd, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. Which one was
the
that?
Super Card of Honor.
Yes. Okay. So the first time I saw him and see how phenomenal he is as a wrestler and how much of a powerhouse he is as a wrestler, it's like, yeah, I'm sold. Let the Octopus win.
I'm just glad that after seeing all these, because sometimes I would sometimes browse through Fight TV and just find all these matches, which is how I found Rise Women's Wrestling and Shimmer and stuff like that, and all these different matches and all these different indie ones. I always run into this image of this dude with the octopus mask, and I'm like, the fuck is this guy? And he pops up everywhere in every other indie promotion and stuff. And it's cool to finally see him perform. But I've always been curious for the longest time, like, who the hell's this dude with the octopus mask that's literally in every indie show ever, no matter what company or whatever? Like, geez. But yeah, those are the matches we got for now, guys. We're going to keep this tally here. And again, the pay-per-view is on Saturday, so I'll be kind of working overtime to get this up and out, obviously, before the event, because what's the point if it's after the event? And then sometime during the week, depending on certain things that may or may not happen, we'll find out what's going on with the podcast. We'll do our review and our comparisons of who won and who lost and all that good stuff. Has anyone got any final thoughts or any comments or any extra things here and there?
That is the one thing I hate about AEW Dark, and especially Dark Elevation, is the comedy. Is the commentary is so uncaring that, I mean, the fact that all they do is just crack jokes with each other, like they don't actually like to comment on the wrestling, irritates me to no end. I mean, the fact that literally Botchamania has a literal segment of just Taz's stupid jokes with Excalibur, and it literally does the whole, that scene in Willy Wonka where like the Oompa Loompa opens the door and then they literally go, "It's Taz!" and it says Taz's insipid commentary. That's all it is. And it's literally a segment on Botchamania. That's how many times they do it.
Okay.
And if it's to that point, you done did a fucky wucky, all right?
My only thing...
AEW Dark's pretty much turned into Mystery Science Theater 3000 with wrestling. That's pretty much what it is at this point.
Right, but the fucked up thing is, like, the talent suffer for it. Like, that's making fun of wrestling is our fucking bag, not theirs.
But the other thing too
They're
is
stealing our job, man.
the only
Stay in
thing
your
too
fucking
is
lane, Taz.
the only
You
thing
know that.
I do have to complain though about them, especially Taz and them, is that they should do a better job. Like I know some of these people are, I guess, lower in the card or they're just in the indies or whatever the heck, but do a better job like memorizing who is who. You know what I mean? Like you got, I'm just throwing examples here. You got like Ruby Soho and Hikaru Shida versus like I don't know, Kenzie Page and Marty Bell, and they're like forgetting the names of the other two and stuff like that. And I said they should do a better job of that. And then with the Renegade Twins, they don't even. I mean, this time they at least made an effort to tell them apart. But the first time I saw them together, they didn't even try to tell them apart. And that's like stuff they should know because they're the ones who are supposed to tell us, the viewers, like, okay, so the one with this top is Robin and the other one is Charlotte or something like that, you know?
Okay, so because I remember they messed up with Andrade and Idolo, and they called him Andre or something, like if it was Andre the Giant shit. Like how do you mess that one?
Andre El Taco Generico. You know the one. Like, oh my god. That's not even close. Like, I was legitimately shocked that they did actually pronounce Roosh properly. Because I really was expecting Taz to go like, hey, look, it's Rush. I'm a big fan of him. I like Rush. Because it's spelled that way, but it's Roosh. I hate saying this, but the fact that Excalibur is the one holding up your commentary team, that means you have a crappy commentary. I'm sorry. Like, I don't blame JR. JR's old and, Bell's palsy and all that other stuff. I understand that. But, like, Shivani has only interest when it's, like, Sting or Britt Baker. I think half the times Tony Schiavone's just like, I'm thinking about big booty bitches. I'm not thinking about anything else.
Oh, God. Britt Baker's number one simp.
All he talks about on, like, his Twitter is about girls he thinks that are attractive.
Hey, that's my gig. I should sue.
I'm like, damn it, they're stealing Mark's gimmick. No.
If I even had a Twitter, that is. But I wouldn't risk that. Twitter's very, like, whatever nowadays. I don't want, like, people just jumping over, hey, what Mark's saying this, he doesn't respect women and blah, 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 blah. I mean, hey, I'm respecting them. I'm just calling them beautiful. That's all I'm doing.
I guess, like Braun Strowman's Wrestling Federation, they need to control their narrative.
I don't mind commentary. I don't mind comedic commentary. Like, good example, and I know I bring up New Japan all the time, but one of the funniest running gags in New Japan English commentary is Kevin Kelly. Every time Toru Yano, who's a good guy, but he's a comedic wrestler, he's really, really good. Every time he does like a low blow behind the ref's back, Kevin Kelly goes, "Oh no, my monitor went out." Every time Toru Yano cheats, "Oh, my monitor, what happened? What? No way he cheated. No, not him. No." Like, he actually like that. I get that's stupid. But then when like the villains cheat, he's like, "Oh, the monsters. Who would dare do such a thing?" Like, like that is the sort of shit. I'm like, that's funny. That sort of stuff is funny. Like, I love Danhausen. I want Danhausen to beat Ricky Starks. I really do. Because I could really see him, like, carrying around the FTW belt, and it's all like, I have the Fudu belt. Like, tell me you couldn't see. He's like, yes, I'm carrying around the Futu belt. Yes, I, Danhausen, am the Futu champion.
Oh, God, you're doing a good impression.
Way too well, Jack.
Yes, Danhausen, very good, very evil, yes. I fucking love Danhausen. He's literally one of my favorite, like, behind-the-scenes, like, just... Because he stays in character. Like, he never breaks character, even when he's at conventions and shit. But he did an interview with, which... It's astounding to me, like, the level of, like, luck Danhausen has had in his career in real life. Like, he's married to a 3-time professional belly dancer. Like, a national champion belly dancer. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome. He has his own horror museum in his house.
Oh, God.
And he's like, he was like, I guess he's like best friends with like half of like the WWE roster.
No, geez.
And I'm like that. Like, but this is way. I mean, mind you, it's because they were all Ring of Honor guys. Like he was best friends with. He's best friends with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, guys like that. And I'm like, but like I said, it's just so funny because I just love him because he stays in character, but he's so good in the ring. But I want to see him do that more. I want to see him wrestle more. I loved when he wrestled. Is
he still like recovering from injuries or whatever?
No, he's fully healed now. Like his leg is fully healed. He broke his femur completely.
Oh.
Like his femur completely snapped in half both ends.
Oh God! And not the femur housing.
It was literally. Yeah, I know. He was like, he said like he would he's like when he was in a wheelchair for a while and he used to say like. He's like, yes, I'm preparing for being old man housing. Like, that's what he used to say because he was in a wheelchair. And then, like, yeah, so he was like, I think he was like on the shelf for like a year and a half. But now he's fine. And it's just, like I said, I want to see him wrestle more. So I'm hoping they do more with him and less with Cassidy. I mean, I like that Cassidy's wrestling, like, more seriously now. You know what I want to see? I want to see Wardlow versus Brian Cage.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It'd be like who can stay in their pants long enough.
Oh, jeez.
It's like we're gonna have you two in a pickle jar opening contest. Tell me that wouldn't be funny, just having them like, dude, you could totally do like a pickle commercial with those two. How funny would it be for like Vlasic to do like an AEW spot with like those two doing like a pickle jar opening contest? And then like have the ostrich come out and be like, Vlasic pickles, anyone will fight for him. Like, or something stupid. You would be like, I need to buy some pickles. This is fucking awesome.
Well, when they put the jar down, Danhausen comes out of nowhere. Oh, thank you. And he just grabs a pickle and walks out,
Exactly. That's what I want to see. Just, if you're going to go comedic, go full comedic. But the difference is this is the only issue I have with comedy and wrestling. I'm cool with comedy and wrestling as long as it doesn't involve, like, world championships. Anyway, well, I'm going to let you go, man, and I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, we're going to wrap up the episode for today, guys. So, this is Mark Rodriguez on behalf of the Diving Cutter podcast, which, again, is now on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Samsung Music. So let us know, give us a shout-out, see what's going on. And signing off.
Ninja Panda, and I'm out of here.
This is Johnny Rodriguez, and yeah, it's really cool. It's been a very good, interesting podcast. Hopefully this pay-per-view is a success, which I think it will be. Hopefully they will promote it the right way. And yeah, let's see what happens. Can't wait to see the pay-per-view.
And this is Jack from Jack Knives Reviews, signing out.
All right, guys, this is the last-minute edition here. If the audio sounds a bit different, it's because it is actually from a Zoom meeting that we're kind of practicing because, hey, you never know who just might drop in the next couple of days. I don't know. We might have someone dropping in. We don't know. But just super last-minute news that was announced today, like maybe half an hour to an hour ago. But Vince McMahon actually dropped a tweet saying that, hey, I'm 77 years old. It's a good time to retire. Farewell. So the big man is retiring from WWE. Like, what are your thoughts, guys?
Well, I find it a little suspicious that not only did he retire, but apparently it's questionable that Brock Lesnar might not even be showing up to SmackDown tonight, which I guess I can't say it's too suspicious, seeing the fact of, he's always had his back no matter how silly he's acted. But yeah, from what I'm understanding, if Vince walks, Brock might walk. So, this is going to get interesting. I want to see how this is going to turn out. But, it's a little weird that after all this comes up with, his paralegal and the sex scandal, all of a sudden, oh, I retire. It might be just me, but hey.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I think about this whole thing is very obvious that the WWE, I have to say the word allegedly because, you don't want to get in trouble either. But at the same time, the way Vince McMahon's kind of weird in a certain way, he's kind of, kind of creepy in a certain way. It wouldn't be too surprising at this point if that type of allegations turn out to be true. And obviously what they're trying to do right now is because I guess the heat is so hot right now, there's so much controversy surrounding with that. In the end of it, it could really tarnish the image of the entire corporation. So I think this is more like a corporate thing they're doing. They're trying to they're trying to alleviate the situation. So because Vince McMahon is there the whole time, and people are gonna keep talking about it. It's like they're like, what, we gotta, he probably had the big meeting between all the people, all the big bosses in charge of the corporation, and they probably decided, hey, you know what, for our best interest, you just have to go. You have to retire or whatever the case might be. And that's probably the best approach they had to take, because it's a very sensitive issue, and yeah, I mean, it's still a company at the end of the day, so they got to do what they have to do, whether we agree with it or not, but they got to do what they got to do in order for them to keep going with their company. And maybe by them having other people in charge, it's going to kind of, I'm not going to say it's going to erase 100% what's, the allegation part of the whole thing, but people will be more focused on the new management. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be interesting what Triple H is going to do, like what is going to be his vision of the WWE going forward.
One thing I do want to say, number one, I'm surprised Brock Lesnar even cares, because he always seemed like the kind of guy that I don't give a shit. I'm just here for a paycheck and whatever the fuck and whatever. There's been times where he even threatened, like, if I drop the title, I'm quitting. Fuck this shit, So I'm surprised he cares, But the other thing too is I'm wondering, like, now I know Vince is old, I know that, and he's not getting any younger, but like, is he really, really gone, or is he kind of waiting for the stuff to kind of die down? Maybe beginning of next year, hey, Vince is back. Hey, here he's walking with his shuffle down the ring. Like, I don't know. Is it legit, or do you guys think he might mysteriously come back, in the wheelchair or some shit,
Oh, now his right hand man, Nick Khan, is still there. So as long as he's still there, Vince can kind of phone the operations in, even though he's retired. So I think it's just he's retired off of paperwork, but he's still going to be active behind the scenes with Nick Khan pretty much, running the show for him. So if they get rid of Nick Khan, then yeah, all of Vince's power done, gone. Actually, also found a weird fact that Johnny Laurinaitis, in the sex scandal, no pun intended, his partner in crime, is also saying he's kind of getting sick of the WWE and is planning on leaving as well.
What a coincidence! So,
interesting. That's kind of suspicious.
Exactly. What a strange coincidence.
Yeah.
You gotta grow out the beard, man. So you can be like, coincidence. I want to see you with a beard sometime, Johnny. That'd be cool.
Wait, what?
I want to see you with a beard sometime, Johnny. Johnny's always super duper clean.
I can do the little mustache and goatee.
Yeah, but that's a mustache. We want to see Johnny with the epic Gen beard, like.
I don't do the whole beard look.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but I work, retail, so you know how that goes.
Yeah,
it's about having the image a little bit,
Yeah.
Okay, so what I think about Vince McMahon, like if he's retired for good, or honestly, it's hard to say at this point because I feel like anything is possible. But at least for the time being, for now, he's probably not going to be in the picture for a long time, maybe until this whole scandal thing kind of fades away, if it ever does fades away 100%.
Yeah, those things take a while, don't they? It's not going to be like tied up in court for a while or whatever.
Well, the thing is that with the WWE, it might kind of fade away a little bit, but the thing is that they're as a company, they're pretty much tarnished in certain aspects because of this. I don't even know if I want to talk about it, but the whole Chris Benoit thing, as much as they try to hide it under the carpet, it's still a topic that people, it's still something that people still remember. It's a topic that people are not going to really talk too much out in the open, but it's still like, it's kind of like we kind of know it happened, but we're not going to talk about it kind of thing, So I think like this case, for example, even if they bury it under the carpet, I think it's still going to be the topic people are going to be talking about for years.
Yeah, him doing the whole, as we call it, the Ric Flair retiring is not going to stop the simple fact of what he did. I mean, what I mean by Ric Flair retiring is, Ric Flair will lose the match, say he's going to quit, retire, and then about 2 more years, he pops right back up.
Yes, he does.
Pretty much like he's doing right now. He's doing his farewell match on pay-per-view. I'm just like, bullshit. He'll be in AEW like next week.
I was about to say, even though I don't really follow like NFL, but the first scene when you talked about the Ric Flair thing, it kind of reminds me of, he's going to do a Tom Brady thing, huh?
So we'll see how this comes out, guys. This is, again, we're trying out on Zoom, so that's why the audio sounds different. But we'll see what happens with WWE now, with Vince gone and Nick Khan with more control and Triple H coming back and Stephanie coming back and all this weird stuff.
So what is Stephanie's role? Because I saw that you posted a picture of her on the messenger. So what's her role? Is she still...
I mean, I don't know about her role per se, but she's like opening SmackDown. Like SmackDown will start with her, doing her promo or whatever. So that's a big thing because she's supposed to be gone. But that was going to start with Stephanie talking and everything. So that's already a big deal having her on TV again. But, like I said, we'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, we'll wrap it up here for now. And see you all next time.